Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so delighted to welcome you all to a special virtual recruitment fair in partnership with Assemblywoman Catalina Cruz. We welcome the businesses, our workforce development and nonprofit partners who have joined us to provide job opportunities in our area's 3 airports and at positions in the community, human services, security, retail, healthcare, sales, finance, animal care, and more. Today's program runs from 11 to 12 p.m. and Q&A follows between 12 and 12:30. I thank the 10 organizations that have joined us on the platform today, including the Queens Chamber of Commerce, a leading and foundational organization in Queens, one that we count on and partner for all things relevant to business and the economy. Thank you so much for being here, Tom. In addition, we have 82 Street Academics, Express Employment Professionals, and Animal Care Center of NYC. They're joining us for the very first time, so welcome everyone. I want to thank you for your partnership that's even more vital as we continue to work through the COVID-19 pandemic to rebuild our economy and help Queens become even stronger. Our unemployment rate was 12.9% in January 2021, and that's down from 21.6% in June 2020, but still 9.9 percentages higher than February 2020's pre-pandemic low of just 3%. We aim to close the unemployment gap by providing an assortment of open positions in essential services and beyond. So before we get started, I'm so delighted to introduce the Assemblywoman Catalina Cruz of the 39th Assembly District. Assemblywoman Cruz represents Corona, Elmhurst, and Jackson Heights neighborhoods, which were so hard hit by COVID-19. The Assemblywoman shares the borough president's passion for equity in the workplace, for worker rights, and for women in the workplace, immigrants, and small businesses. I'm so delighted to invite the Assemblywoman to say a few words to kick us off.
Thank you, Deputy Borough President. And I say your full title because I think when we have women of color in powerful positions, we got to recognize those titles that were hard worked and earned. So good to see you. As you can see, I actually have to shout out Elmhurst Hospital at my vaccination site. I can't start today without reminding folks that if you are eligible, please sign up, please sign up, please sign up. We will not get back to a better normal unless we have, hopefully, almost every single one of our family members and community members vaccinated. In the meantime, still continue to practice social distancing, try to always wash your hands, etc. You guys by now know why we're here. You know, it's been a terrible year for many of us, from losing family to losing work to having many businesses shut down. My community lost many wonderful human beings. And we are hoping that we can honor them by getting vaccinated, but by also continuing to make Queens a better place for all of us. And that's not going to happen unless we help our small businesses. So shout out to Tom and the Queens Chamber of Commerce. We got a wonderful addition of a couple of millions of dollars, like a lot of money to help our small businesses, and that's on the way. But what do we do with small businesses without the folks who work at them, who actually help fuel our economy, who make sure that our neighborhoods are clean, that we can buy our clothes, that we can move around? Like all of those things, it's our workers that keep us doing it every day. And so I do want to give a shout out before I continue to my neighbor and 82nd Street Academics. They are my constituents, and I think I saw Mallory, who actually lives right upstairs from me, on the screen. So big shout out to them. Great to have you join us. I think in an era where unfortunately we can't all be together, this is a wonderful thing to do. And so from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank our borough president, who since coming into office has basically done anything and everything to push Queens into that new normal that we deserve. And so I'll keep it at that, because we're here to listen from the employers, to learn and to make sure that we can get as many people, as many jobs. And so if anyone who is watching lives in Jackson Heights, Corona, or Elmhurst and needs our help, whether it's with securing a vaccination or help with a job, reach out to our office. We're at 718-458-5367. That's 458-5367, and we're at 4140 Junction Boulevard. We hope to see everyone in a job fair in person in the future. But in the meantime, again, thank you, Deputy Borough President, and give my regards to the birthday boy, because today is our Borough President's birthday. So happy birthday to him.
Yeah, special shout out to the Borough President. Happy birthday to the Borough President today. And congratulations, Assemblywoman, on passing the very comprehensive budget. On behalf of the Borough President, thank you for partnering with us today. So to kick off, we will go to Brittany Keys. She's the Director of Talent Acquisition at Canva Inc.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for the invitation to join the recruitment event today. It's always a pleasure to participate, and we're just really grateful to be here. I am pleased to be here today to represent Canva. Canva is a nonprofit organization that started in Brooklyn over 40 years ago. And since then, we've grown to over 100 sites in all 5 boroughs of New York City, including, of course, Queens. And we offer over 160 different community and social services programs across the city. So we have programs in homelessness prevention, supportive and transitional housing, family and parenting support, summer and after school programs for children and youth. So with all of these programs comes a really wide range of job opportunities in administration, social services, working with kids and youth. So you can view all of our job opportunities on our website, canva.org, but I wanted to highlight a few specific positions today. So first, we are, I mentioned social services, so we have a number of social services positions across our sites. So we have case manager and social worker positions at Canva locations in all 5 boroughs. For case manager positions, we typically see candidates who have a bachelor's degree or case management experience. But if you have a social services or psychology related bachelor's degree and don't have experience, we definitely have a lot of programs that really invest in new staff and candidates who would be starting a career in that field. For social worker positions, we do hire new MSW grads who are not yet licensed. I know that continues to be a really, it continues to be a challenging time to navigate the licensure process. So we are able to hire MSW grads who are not yet licensed. And of course, we do have positions for experienced social workers. So if you do have a lot of experience, you've been licensed, we have supervisory positions, we have management positions for social workers as well. One of the management positions that I wanted to mention for social workers is that we do have an assistant program manager position opening in in one of our scattered site housing programs in Jamaica, Queens. It does require an LCSW or an LMHC. If you don't have supervisory experience, that's okay. We can work with that and help you gain that experience. For our social work positions, one thing I'll mention is that on our website, if you're looking, a lot of times those positions are posted as client care coordinator. So just be aware of that as you're looking at our openings. On the administrative side, we have a bookkeeper position open in our finance department. We're seeking candidates with a high school diploma or GED and 1 to 2 years of bookkeeping or nonprofit accounting experience. This position does require candidates to be on site at one of our locations in Brooklyn. So keep that in mind as you're looking at that open position. As well, we are seeking candidates for our after school and summer camp positions. So we are recruiting for primarily part-time positions in those programs that work with children and youth. We do require prior experience working with youth or children, but we have a variety of open positions, from activity specialists who create lesson plans around activities like dance or yoga or visual arts. So if you're coming from an art background and you have some experience working with youth, that could be a great position for you. We also have group leaders who facilitate groups and recreation activities for youth. And then we also have tutor positions that provide academic assistance for children. So this is just a snapshot, a few of our open positions. So I do encourage you to check out our full list of openings at canva.org. We do offer a comprehensive benefits package, health insurance, dental insurance, retirement plan, including an employer match, pay time off. And I also like to mention that we really prioritize growing from within in the organization. It's not uncommon to meet staff who have been with Canva for 10, 15, 20 years and have grown over their time with us. So that's always nice to highlight, just in terms of our investment and growth at Canva. So again, you can check out canva.org. We ask candidates to send their resumes to submitresumes@canva.org. If you do apply to an open position, let us know that you attended the event today so our recruitment team can make sure that we flag your resume. So again, thank you so much for having us, and I hope everybody stays safe and well and has a good weekend.
Thank you very much, Brittany. And once again, you can apply and learn for more information on canva.org/careers. Next, we would like to introduce Alexis Romero, who's the HR generalist from New York City Animal Care and Concern. Thank you so much for joining today, Alexis.
Thank you. So again, I'm Alexis Romero. I'm the HR generalist at Animal Care Centers of New York City. For over 20 years, individuals from all over New York City have come to animal care centers every day of the week for reasons as diverse as reclaiming lost pets, adopting new furry family members, and getting resources to help them keep their pets in homes. We strive to find loving homes for homeless and abandoned cats, dogs, and rabbits, both by adopting animals directly to the public and by partnering with more than 200 animal placement organizations. Our field services division responds to calls from the public to help keep New York City communities safe and rescue animals in need. And we also have facilities in all 5 boroughs. At ACC, our strength is our staff. We offer a wide variety of career opportunities. Currently, some of our opportunities include animal rescue specialists, animal care specialists, client care representatives, and admissions counselors, and veterinary assistants. Just to highlight on a couple of those positions, our animal care specialist position is open in our Brooklyn Care Center at the moment. The animal care specialist provides a high standard of animal care to ensure the welfare of the animals at ACC. The ACS provides and maintains clean, healthy living environment for each animal. Our client care representative position is also open in our Brooklyn Care Center. The client care representative is the face of ACC and is responsible for providing professional, world-class service to all clients in a way that reflects values and missions of ACC. The client care representative is also responsible for greeting clients, connecting them to other departments when necessary, and providing information about all ACC services. And our admissions counselor position is open in our Manhattan Care Center. The admissions counselor is responsible for ensuring that animals entering our care centers are set up for the best possible outcomes from the very first interaction by providing safe, supportive environments free of judgment. The admissions counselor allows owners and finders of animals to seek assistance without fear or embarrassment. At ACC, we're looking for someone with the ability to excel in a fast-paced, often high-stress environment, treats animals and people with respect, and is willing to pitch in and help others and ensure the needs of the animals that are met. At ACC, we offer a competitive benefits package as well. Our employees have the opportunity to earn up to 5 weeks of vacation based on tenure. We have low health insurance premiums, paid holidays off, even birthdays off, and other benefits. If anyone is interested in working for ACC, please visit our website at nycacc.org/careers. We do have more positions besides the ones I listed above. So feel free to check out our website.
Thank you very much, Alexis. And you can email your resumes to careers@nycacc.org. Appreciate you being here today. Thank you. So next, I'd like to introduce Mallory Tompkins, the Chief Strategy Officer at 82nd Street Academics.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for having me with you today and spending some time with me. Big shout out to the Queensborough President Office. Thank you very much, and to Catalina. I hope to meet some new friends as a result of this call. I'm coming to you from 82nd Street Academics in Jackson Heights, Queens. We are a nonprofit supporting the students of Queens on their journey to college, no matter their home language. Our mission drives our work with local schools so that we complement students' public education with tutoring, after school, summer school, and preschool services. We've worked both in person and virtually this year with our families to fight learning loss and also really to promote student achievement in academic and social emotional areas. We're a great place to work, and if you enjoy spending time with students and learning more about their perspective, you're going to have a good time with us. You'll enjoy working with us if you like being part of a team and interacting in person to support the goals of your colleagues. We have positions that are open both in management and in the classroom, full-time and part-time options. Our classroom-facing positions work with a wide variety of age groups from preschool to high school. So if you're in a career or looking towards a career in youth development or education, we're a good place to be. I hope I can drop into the chat our application portal. It is a really simple application, and we're really prompt in following up with candidates that look like a potential match. We encourage folks to apply who live in Queens and want to serve their neighbors. We have various schedules depending on your area of interest. So especially if you're in college or you're supporting a unique schedule, we're going to be a good match for you. Most of our work is in person, and we're confident that our spaces are safe for in-person work. Much of our work is overseen by the Department of Health and the Department of Education. So our team members are required to be fingerprinted and to complete background checks and an annual physical. We'll conduct weekly testing for COVID, but we heavily encourage our members to consider getting vaccinated. We have practices in place that keep our team members safe, but also to really support their development. 82nd Street Academics can be a real stepping stone in your career. There's a lot of opportunities to advance within the agency. I started as a volunteer, and here I am presenting to all of you. But we also are a respected name in our community and a point of pride to add onto your resume. If you dream of a community where students have equitable access to a college degree, no matter their home language, then I hope that you check out our website and consider applying to one of our open positions. I hope to hear from you. Let us know in your cover letter or in your application that you met me here. 82nd Street Academics. Remember our name. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mallory. Now we have two special guests from Express Employment Professionals, Greg Hughes and Tori Weaver.
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for having us. Okay, great. So again, we're with Express Employment of Queens, based right here in Long Island City. Express has over 800 offices around the country. With respect to the tri-state area, we're certainly the largest here in Queens. We have a new sister office in Brooklyn that we're happy to work with. We have some folks up in Westchester, to the extent that they can combine and help us down in the 5 boroughs. And we have some colleagues out east as well for things that happen in the eastern Queens. But at the end of the day, we are a traditional staffing company. We've been around for about 40 years or so, about 7 years in Long Island City here. And we concentrate on a wide remit of positions. Everything from general laborers, people loading trucks in the midnight shift, to executive assistants and office services, things of that nature. I can say that our mission here at Express is to get people permanent positions away from Express. We consider ourselves a transitory force. We don't want, if I'm looking across the desk from somebody a year after we interviewed them, either they did something wrong or we did something wrong. We're looking to move folks into permanent positions in the community within Queens and the other 5 boroughs, the 4 boroughs rather. And again, whether it's general labor position, skilled labor position, office services. So we're trying to provide that bridge from unemployment or from coming back to work We work with, at this time, many people coming back post-COVID. Some of their prior employers are not coming back. So we're trying to concentrate on what kind of transitory, what sort of transferable skills they have to bring into a different area maybe they haven't thought about before. We're dealing with some people who maybe don't have the perfect resume, maybe don't go and present the, in the most professional way, but we're working with these folks to say that it's okay. It's okay if everything's not perfect, it's okay. We'll work with you to try to find the right spot for you. We take a lot of time on the interview process. We do it all because of COVID, over the phone, and we do as much as we can remotely. At the end of the day, we do need to meet them to I-9 them, make sure that everyone has the proper paperwork and all that. But our whole thing is just take some time to really get to know somebody to try to find the right spot for them. That's really what we're working on. We have probably about 6 positions that we're trying to highlight today. And again, it runs the gamut from general labor up to office services. So I'll let Tori Weaver, my specialist, start with office services.
Okay, so hi everyone. Yes, nice to meet you. I'm the employment specialist here. Definitely happy to be here. I'm excited to hopefully see some new faces from this, as we are definitely looking for some great new talent. So on the office services side, we do have a wide range, and it really does depend on what our client base in the area is always looking for. Some of the main positions that we see very often are some of the, I would say, general skill set positions. So administrative assistants. This is something where, a wide range of different types of administrative clerical backgrounds can help. Some of the things that we would be looking for in that area is just good experience in an office setting, basic understanding of some of the major programs, Microsoft Word, Google seems to be coming up, and now a lot of people have that experience. We do skills assessments as well, just to see what your comfort level is with the program, so we can know where best to place you. So any skill set, any experience is helpful somewhere. So definitely don't be hesitant if that is something that you have some experience with. Answering phones, filing, general, computer work, and just being, self-motivating or self-efficient to work with different people. Usually that is kind of what we're looking for on the administrative side. And again, that can go from anywhere as, as early or entry level as a receptionist, all the way up to, office administration or office management. We also get a very strong need for customer service. And this is usually coming from anyone with any sort of customer service background. We look mostly for the skill set there. And, someone coming from retail, we could usually pull some of the skills from that to work with some of the clients that we have. Ability to resolve challenges is really what we're looking for. So any kind of background that you have in that sense, where you're working with customers, dealing with clients, anywhere from just the general, everyday person looking for something, to contractors, to other business owners, people looking to purchase large amounts of items, depending on what the supply is for the companies that we work with. And again, just ability to work, in an office environment, people coming from call centers as well, lots of heavy phone usage, things like that. And then we also get needs for bookkeepers and other skilled types of niche fields. So if you have experience working with certain programs, QuickBooks, Peachtree, any kind of, full cycle bookkeeping, that's another skill set that we look for as well. Some clients are looking for people who can handle working with cash and, expenses and things like that, and managing and organizing files as well. So that's some of the main things that we look for on the office side. And then for the, general labor side, we have a couple different skill sets that we look for there as well.
Sure.
So we have some from Greg.
Okay, great. Sure. So I'll take that part. Thank you. Okay, great. Yeah. So on the general labor side, I mean, one of the silver linings to come out of this, terrible cloud of COVID has been that, e-commerce has spiked pretty dramatically across the country. Certainly Queens is no exception. So with that, you've got an increased need in general warehouse labor. Listen, these aren't the sexiest jobs, but if these jobs aren't done, then stuff doesn't move. Okay, so we have, a significant number of positions in that space. And it could be everything from, moving food, and through the whole pandemic, we were extremely busy in the space. The vast majority of our clients were deemed to be essential, whether it was construction products or food stuff. There was a lot of food stuff had to get moved. So any kind of general warehouse position, and for that, we'd be looking for people maybe right out of high school, or people who don't have the greatest skill set for whatever reason, no matter what age they are, they haven't quite picked it up. But if you have a good work ethic, you can come to work on a timely basis, and you can handle the physicality of warehouse labor. We'd be looking to work with these folks. All different kinds of shifts. Day shifts are the most popular. We have occasional overnight shifts. As we kind of go up the curve there, we start talking about forklift operators and things of that nature. And that's a prime example. A lot of folks get all caught up in, I can't go for the forklift job because I'm not certified. I've got 7 years on the forklift, but I'm not certified. That's, as we know professionally, a lot of times you run into people who have kind of empty degrees. So sometimes we find that with forklift certifications. You get to that warehouse, they're going to know within, 5-10 minutes whether you know how to operate that forklift. Okay, so we don't want people to get worried about the resume not perfect. We don't want people to worry about, my documentation's not perfect on my experience. You get in there, we work with you, we work with the client, we're very upfront and honest with the client. We do reference checks to make sure that, you do have the skill set that you purport to have, but we're gonna be right there with you. And if it's a forklift is a different model and you're not ready for it, that's okay, we'll find something else for you. It's not a fatal mistake. We look for people who strive for the best. From that, we also, moving up the chain a little bit, we have driving positions. Everything from van driving jobs to tractor trailer jobs. And that too, people sometimes get concerned about their driving record, what we refer to as their DMV abstract. There's no such thing in the city of New York as a pristine abstract unless you aren't driving. So, we encourage people to be honest with us about what their driving record is, what their driving experience is, and we'll put them in the right vehicle. We do a lot with CDLB truck drivers. Those would be the larger box trucks over 26,000 pounds. Sometimes we'll get a new CDLB who's not quite confident enough. We'll put them in a van. We'll have them drive a van for a year or so, get their confidence up so they can keep moving up the chain. Again, the mission of Express is not to be a permanent home for folks, but to be a transition into something permanent. Whether it's a local not-for-profit, that we have many of those relationships, any kind of local for-profit business. The idea is that we want transitional relationships, to be honest with you, with our associates, with our employees, and we want permanent, long-standing relationships with our employment partners. And that's the whole gist of what we do. Away from that, we have a significant number of maintenance positions, both in residences as well as commercial spaces. So we welcome people into those positions who have that kind of experience. Again, it sounds like a very, very simple job, but to find the right person who's willing to clean and do a good job and understands, especially in the age of COVID, how important that job is. It takes a little digging, and that's one segue into we're very heavily regulated as an agency, by the federal government and local government and such. So, we do have to make sure that everyone has proper paperwork and they work in the U.S. We also do background checks, but only upon request of the client. And following New York State law, it has to be reasonable and relevant, the R&R rule. So, we do work with a significant number of individuals who are coming out of the system. And all we ask is that they're honest with us and we work with them. The vast majority of our employer relationships are very, very open to these individuals trying to get a second shot. And, again, we use the reasonable and relevant rule. If someone's working in a residence, there are certain rules. If someone's working in an overnight warehouse, there's a different set of rules. So we follow all the federal state guidelines, but we are willing to work with people from all different kinds of backgrounds. That's it. So it's, general maintenance, warehouse work, driving positions, skilled labor, project work. Company comes in from Texas. Hey, I need 20 people to help set up the at home in the Queens Mall. We had 15, 20 people there to set up the shelving at the mall in Regal Park. That kind of stuff. We're a traditional staffing agency. We're local. I own it here in Queens. we belong to the community, but we also have the national resources of Express. So when these other companies come in, we're able to use the Express resources to give jobs to our folks here locally in Queens and the other boroughs.
Well, thank you so much, Greg and Tori. And you can find more information on www.expresspros.com/NW Queens, New York. Thanks again. I know you'll be staying on for questions. Next, I'd love to introduce Calvin Edwards, who's the Senior Recruiter at Building Skills New York. Thank you for joining.
Yes, thank you for the introduction. And I definitely like to thank the Queensborough President Office for hosting the event, and definitely thank Assemblymember Catalina Cruz for including us for this whole event. So my name is Calvin Edwards. I'm the Senior Recruiter at Building Skills New York. Building Skills New York is a nonprofit organization designed to help local New York City residents find jobs in construction. We represent developers and all of their subcontractors on various sites throughout New York City. And we hire for various positions. That includes for all trades, starting with general labor work, electrical, plumbing, carpentry, HVAC, masonry, and definitely any more. So our overall goal is to place local residents to work on local job sites. What we're doing is we're looking for people to definitely willing to contribute to the city and the local rebuilding efforts to make a difference in their overall community. So I would say out of the areas that we are currently working in, we work in all 5 boroughs at this point. But I definitely want to highlight that we have work in the Long Island City area, Astoria, Maspeth, Flushing, Jamaica, and also Far Rockaway. But as I mentioned, we work in all 5 boroughs. So if you're definitely interested in traveling and flexible with that, we can definitely work with you on there. So as far as the opportunities that we offer, as I mentioned, we work on a lot of different sites. So we have opportunities for people even entry level coming in as a general laborer. You'll be working on a live construction site. And so things that you'll be doing could be something simple as site cleanup, sweeping, cleaning the floors, taking out debris as it comes out. You can also be helping other trades as you might have material coming on. So you're loading and unloading trucks. You might be bringing in tools, cleaning tools, things like that. But also identifying safety issues on a site, because even as a general laborer, you do have a very important role. So we always want people to understand that. But outside of that, if you are interested in growing in a trade and building a career path in construction, we are also able to help you find a position as a helper, or if you have experience in that trade, to actually work directly as your own mechanic and kind of navigate your own work on your own. But if you're trying to get into, like I said, carpentry or electrical, plumbing, we have a lot of opportunities where there's actually employers who are willing to work with people and train them to actually get into the jobs. I could definitely speak on our electrical companies. They are very big on people who actually want to learn electrical. So they're able to train them and teach them their own ways. If you ever went to a trade school, that also helps too, because they know that you have formal training there. We also have jobs in construction security and construction administration on our construction sites. All our work is definitely, done on site. So if you're a construction administrator, you're going to be doing office work that you'll normally do inside an office building, working on computers, doing emails, Outlook, Excel, doing different reporting that's going back to the main offices, but you're still working inside a trailer. You still have to kind of come every day with your hard hat and boots and protect yourself to make sure that you're covered. But you'll be taking information and reporting it back. It could be labor information, materials delivered. You just have to be that admin on there. Also, as I mentioned, construction security. If you're working on site, there's different sites that has different rules. So some securities have to work during the night shifts. So we have opportunities there. But most of our work is done at 6:30 to 3 p.m. So if you are a construction person on site, you're basically there to secure the site, make sure items aren't being taken, and also protect the equipment. So just keep that in mind. But in general, I would say that if you're looking to get into the construction industry, we have a variety of opportunities, as I mentioned, even down to when the buildings are finished and completed. We also have maintenance positions who are basically a full-time maintenance position working on that site, actually at the building after it's completed. So as a whole, what type of person I can say that we look for? We want people who have the ability to kind of come in and step in to do the work. You have to be comfortable safety-wise to just working in that type of environment. A lot of our buildings are open, wide open, still being developed. So you have to be okay with working around that. Obviously, everybody has to take an OSHA safety class and learn about the actual safety precautions on site. But just in general, having that awareness of what's going on and making sure that you're identifying any type of potential issues. You also just have to be productive within that same environment. We have certain schedules, and definitely construction is a money industry, I can tell you that. So every day counts. So we have to stay on schedule. So everybody has to understand that you have to be productive, even if there's a hole in the floor and you have to walk around it, or you have to work on a scaffolding 30 feet in the air. We do have safety. We do tie you down. We do have safety nets, but just in general, you have to be okay with that type of environment. Also, I would say that you have to be reliable. Construction, as I mentioned, is a money industry. Every day really counts. Our work starts at 6:30 in the morning. So being reliable means that you're there on site at 6:30. You have to be there ready to work, job ready, in your full PPE, and I'll explain that later. But also just having that follow-up and communication with us is very key for us, because sometimes our work changes, and while you'll be hired as a full-time position permanently with the company, that, depending on the work, the weather schedules, a lot of things that could come up, you could potentially move to another job site. So we always want people to have good communication with us. So if things do come up like that, or it's a work stop order, we're able to contact you and let you know, so you know your next steps. Like, having good communication is very key for us. And lastly, I would say, what we look for out of a person is someone who has just compatibility with the industry. I stress the early morning hours, having that communication with us to be able to follow up, and not to say micromanage you, but really know exactly what's going on and kind of give you that direction. Sometimes it's once a week, once a month. We're really having that follow up and communication with us. We're also having thick skin and understanding that construction may not be the most articulate, elegant type of a professional environment. You have to just be okay with working around those type of individuals, and also just being comfortable keeping going and staying up with the schedule. So I could say our requirements for our construction workers is that you definitely have to be over the age of 18. You have to be New York City resident. That means you have to live in one of the 5 boroughs. We do check that and verify that. You also have to be eligible to work inside the United States. So that's another thing that we do check. There are certain certifications, such as the OSHA 30 in construction, and also the new OSHA 10 site safety training. Those are certain requirements that are required for all New York City workers to have. If you do not have that, we do have organizations that we are able to help you get those certifications. So we encourage you, definitely don't use those as a way not to move forward. But if you don't have those certifications, we do have places where you can get it. Also, having updated resume, working cell phone is very key for us. As I mentioned, having good communication with us, and also having access to personal protective equipment, or PPE. That includes having a hard hat, work boots, gloves, and safety goggles. If you don't have that, we also have community-based organizations that can help you get that as well. But in general, those are things for your own personal safety. So you definitely have to invest in yourself to make sure that you have that for your own safety. So as a whole, working with building skills, the benefits of working with us is that we offer a fast track employment for our employers. We do all of the HR hiring process for them. So when you basically meet with us, you're getting screened fully, checked, vetted all the way through. So if we do have opportunity, we're able to start you the next day. We represent over 200 different employers, so we have jobs year round. And I could definitely say that out of our last 3 years, we just recently placed our 1,000th worker. So we're in the thousands overall, and we're definitely looking to kind of place more people as a whole. So yet again, those are full-time permanent jobs. Also, what we do is we offer retention services where we follow up with our workers, make sure that you're progressing in your career. Depending on what you say in your interview, you tell us about your career path and what you want to do. We actually make sure that you're getting that and you're being treated fairly. So if you want to be a carpenter, we make sure that you are going through that whole process to become a carpenter and grow through that. Also, if it's certain wages, increases, certain milestone that you might have, we follow up with you to make sure that you have that. But also, if you have any type of on-site issues, any type of difficulties. We're also always there to kind of help our workers to make sure that they are okay. We also offer additional resources such as trainings, where if you need certain trainings to kind of progress your career, such as a flaggers card, scaffolding. We also started doing the NCCR training for electrical, plumbing, and HVAC. So our workers are able to do 200 hours of work, 200 hours of training outside of work hours, where you're able to actually learn about a trade that you're actually working in, or you might not be working in, but you want to get into it. So it gives you a chance to work a regular job. You're 6:30 to 3, and usually the classes are 4:30 to 9, and it's done virtually. So you're able to go home, kind of study and learn more about your trade to kind of further yourself. So as a whole, how to apply with building skills. We do have a website at www.buildingskills.org/job application, where you're able to actually upload your resume, any certifications, your ID, or you can do it directly to myself. You can email me at cedwards@buildingskillsny.org, and I would actually reply to you directly. But once you've applied, we do virtual events twice a week. They're done every Tuesday and Thursday at 6:30 a.m. Hence, to just show why that's when our work starts. So we do it at 6:30 in the morning. Where we sit and meet with you, do orientation, and explain with you what we do and our expectations of our workers. And then we'll be able to break out into breakout rooms and speak to you one-on-one. So as a whole, I can say that it's great working with building skills. I love doing what I'm doing. I love helping people. And I definitely look forward to meeting everybody and who's ever interested in getting in construction. So we could definitely talk about furthering your career, and definitely contact me via email or through our website. So thank you, everybody, and have a good day.
Thank you so much, Mr. Edwards. Please do reach out via website or email if you'd like more information. Next, I'd like to introduce Catherine de la Isla. She's a job developer at Common Point. Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you so much for having us. Again, my name's Catherine de la Isla, and I'm a job developer with Common Point Queens. And I specifically work in the employment hub with the adult division, and we kind of target adults from 18 to 64. But just to give you a little overview of our organization. So we are a social services organization, and we have a large umbrella with several spokes. And again, we do the traditional type of community housing where there are senior services and children's services and the pool and the basketball. And but we also have other things like counsel. We have a whole center for counseling, and we have several locations, summer camps, on-site programs at schools that provide after school and summer care as well. So again, we just opened the employment hub just here in this location in Elmhurst, which is very accessible to the Queens community, but we service all of New York City. Because I don't think there is something as large as us to serve the community the way we do at the moment. So we provide here at the Employment Hub job placement assistant, work readiness skills training, career counseling, vocational training, and support services. So we really try to look at people who come through the door as a whole person. We get such a range of people that are starting from entry level all the way up to master's degrees. So we meet them where they're at. If they are coming in and they just got laid off because of COVID, we're gonna say, hey, what do you really need from us at this moment to make sure that you can make it through? So sometimes it might look like they're having trouble keeping their apartment, they're a professional or whatever, but all of a sudden they can't make the rent. We might want to refer them to legal services, for some mitigation. But again, we'll help them within our organization, maybe meet them with some kind of like food pantry needs, or, hook them up with some other kind of social service. And then we kind of bring them through our organization. If you're entry level, we have vocational training that we can assist you with, or maybe get you another position within your range of experience. And then we also have, again, people who are coming in who have a lot of experience and they just need tweaking their resume, a mock interview, some support because it's like the first time they've been out of work in like 10 years, you know, and all of a sudden they have to shift and maybe take their soft skills and apply it in another way. So we're here to really meet you at where you're at. We have ESL services. I mean, you name it, we have it, and we want to make sure that we get you from point A, walking through our doors, to job placement and long-term job employment. So, and again, I specifically work as a job developer. So I do strategic business, you know, I do strategic business relationships. And that can look at like a variety of ways. That might be people coming in as businesses who need help staffing. It could be a social services organization for which we might exchange resources. And even, you know, it might look like jobs, or maybe they have some things that my clients need from their organization assistance. So we love to see how we can put our heads together and really support our communities. And then of course, my first and foremost is at the end result is always job placement and retention. Right. And so, you know, just to kind of give you a little bit about what we have available at the moment in our job availability within our organization, we have a lot of positions open as well. We have case managers and clinical social work positions. We have positions for an LPN or a nurse in the camping programs. We have teaching positions. Assistant teaching positions, so those don't require, that just requires a high school diploma. Maybe you're partially, you know, maybe you're in school for, you know, becoming a teacher, or maybe you just kind of like being with kids and you have some kind of background in that. We also have like certified home health aides that we need for, not certified, no, actually these are the uncertified. This is just a companion partnership for the elderly. So we're looking for somebody who has some kind of like elderly care background, and that they can kind of just be a companion, a general companion to people in the community who need some assistance, and, you know, take them to doctor's appointments and so on. And then we do have a big push for CNAs right now. So if you have your CNA, or even if your CNA license has expired, we're working with an organization who could bridge the gap and do a temporary licensing for you. You just have to take a test. So if you have your CNA, come on through. And you can, you know, contact us. We also have banking positions, so part-time tellers, store supervisors. We have a huge hotel opening push right now. And I'm organizing, there will be a job fair within our organization on April 22nd at 5 p.m. But in order to attend the job fair, you have to do some pre-screening. There is a pre-screening available. You can check us out on Facebook or on LinkedIn, and you can find the link to the pre-screening there. Or you can come to our website and you can contact us, which I'll give you the information at the end. But the positions that are open in the hotel industry are guest services agents, night auditors, engineering and maintenance, housekeeping floor manager. So we have management positions, assistant director of housekeeping, the front desk shift manager, the security manager, purchasing and receiving clerks, staff accountant, and an HR generalist. Also general housekeeping, and we're looking for a chef as well. So we really, you know, we have 3 administrative positions open, and again, that's a varied level of experience we're looking for. So maybe we have an executive admin position open and some regular kind of reception stuff. So we really have this wide range of availability of jobs. And, you know, we even have some high level project management positions open as well. So you just really need to engage with us, and we'll see where you're at, and we'll try to get you through our services. We're here to serve the Queens community, where community happens. We do, you know, we really try to kind of really use all of our resources to serve you in the end. And if you'd like to partner with us as a business, you need some staffing help, because we know that small businesses are also, needing some assistance. All of this is free of service, free of charge. All these services are available to our community because we're just trying to get people back on their feet. So welcome to Common Point Queens. One last thing, you can reach us at the website, www.commonpointqueens.org. Just click on Employment Hub and you can just either engage with us as a partner. There's a button to click there, or you can get started in our employment services and we'll bring you in for an orientation so we can meet your needs and kind of see what you need to move through the process. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Catherine. That was just fantastic. So much great information there. Next, I'd like to introduce Verdia Noel, who's the Director of Business Development at the Council on Airport Opportunity. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you and good morning. Many thanks to the Borough President's Office and Assemblywoman Catalina Cruz for hosting this event. We're very happy to participate. Again, my name is Verdia Noel and I'm the Director of Business Development for the Council for Airport Opportunity. And before we get started, just a little bit about the Council. CAO is a nonprofit organization that was established in 1972 by the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey and its airline partners. And our mission is to identify those critical employment needs within our communities surrounding the JFK and LaGuardia airports, while at the same time working within the aviation industry to identify human resource needs of those employers. So with that being said, let me get started with a few positions that we have open. We know that this is what you're here to listen for, and we have a wide assortment right now at all three area airports. We do represent JFK, LaGuardia, and Newark. And right now at JFK, there are a number of food service positions, barista, bartender, cooks, and supervisors, just to name a few. There are passenger service agent positions, the part-time bilingual Spanish. And because of the pandemic that we've just all survived and been able to continue our daily operations, there are a number of positions that were developed because of the pandemic, and a lot of them are in warehouse and cargo. So we do have a number of warehouse agent, cargo warehouse agent, and office agent positions, as well as warehouse receiver and ramp agents. Those positions do require a driver's license. We have a number of security positions. Those positions require a security guard license. Although most of them are specific, registering with the CAO and meeting with our account managers and myself, we would quickly identify those of you who qualify, explain to you the positions and the type of positions and the requirements for those positions, so that you don't have to fear walking into an interview and not really knowing what you're walking into. We prepare each and every participant, that a job seeker that signs up with the organization, and we have pre-screenings or orientations every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. We also provide resume help along with other job readiness programs that will get you started towards your career in aviation. Those are just a few of the positions at JFK. We do need, at LaGuardia Airport, CDL drivers, crew members, which is a food service position, team members, which is food service positions, in retail, stock associates and customer service associates, in addition to security guards, full-time and part-time at LaGuardia Airport. And at Newark, there are similar positions in security, part-time passenger service agent, cargo warehouse again, and of course, food service, food production, and some greeter screener positions. Those positions are listed on our website. You can go to www.caonynj.com for our website, or email me at vnoelcao@caony.com for additional information. I'll put those emails in the chat. And if there are any other questions, I will remain on this program until we're done so that we can make sure if you're looking for a job right now in aviation, please reach out to the council for your opportunity and we will reach back. So thank you for joining us today and thank you for the invitation to be here.
Thank you so much. And I've heard before that the airports are some of the largest employers in Queens. Is that correct?
It is. And although the opportunities have been limited of late, we have seen an uptick in some of the positions, which gives us a lot of confidence that, you know, the industry is coming back for sure, but it's starting to move back each and every day. And so these positions that I'm talking about now in food service and retail, those are concessionaires that are beginning to open up. In the warehouse and ramp, those are our airlines moving. And so when concessionaires open, the terminals open and people are starting to move. So we're very happy about it. We're looking for a lot of, we need a lot of positions filled right now. So we do welcome any and, you know, each and every one of you who would desire a position. We have something for you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And they're looking even more beautiful now with all of the improvements at JFK and LaGuardia.
Gorgeous. Absolutely. Gorgeous. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Next, I'd love to introduce Nancy Conopole, the Senior Community Relations Manager at Workforce One Career Center. Thank you, Nancy, for joining.
Thank you so much, Deputy Borough President. Thank you for always inviting us. We've had great outcomes, found so many talented people through these job fairs. So again, thank you so much. As Deputy Borough President said, I'm the Senior Community Relations Manager for the Queens Workforce in Jamaica, Flushing, and Far Rockaway. I'm just going to say a few words about our services and then go over a few of our jobs. But we do have jobs across most every sector, and there's workforces in each borough. Workforce One prepares and helps New Yorkers to find jobs by providing resume and interviewing skills workshops, by training New York City residents in growing fields, and by connecting job seekers to employers throughout the city. All our services right now are virtual, and of course, all our services are free. After this, I will put my email address in the chat, and anybody can send their resume to me, and I will send them a virtual invite to interview on Zoom with one of our account managers. So right now, we are working with 2 remote positions, which are work from home. One is for a customer care associate, which is really customer service. For that, you need to type 30 words per minute, have a smartphone and internet, and great customer service skills. The other remote position is for a collection specialist. For that one, the company will provide the laptop as well as the headset for you. And you would need 1 year either customer service or sales positions. We are working with a company, a translation company called Cyricom that needs bilingual customer service reps that will translate health information for health-related fields. And we need about 20 languages. You can definitely email me, send me your resumes, and I'll let you know if that's the languages we're looking for. But the languages always change, so there's a good shot that we will be able to use, you know, your language. And you have to be, of course, fluent in English as well. We're also looking for pharmacy techs for all 5 boroughs, specifically Queens, but all 5 boroughs. You need a basic understanding of math and interest in healthcare. For that one, high school diploma is preferable, but if you have the right personality and a big interest in healthcare, you know, they might, you know, be willing to forgo the high school diploma. And finally, we need a tax preparer for tax and accounting services. You would need 3 years of accounting or bookkeeping, and they're looking for somebody that's bilingual or Mandarin is preferred. In addition to that, we have many security positions, many home health aides, and others. So thank you so much again, and I will be staying to answer any questions, and I'll put my info now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Workforce One and Nancy. And so I'd love to encourage those who have joined us to put your questions into the chat. We will go over to our Q&A section now. And thank you for those who have already sent in questions. I'll start with a question from Segundo. He's or she's asking about positions that are specifically for people who are disabled. And I know that a few organizations have mentioned work from home and sort of teachers' aides types of positions. So if you can, anyone would like to add some more information around that, as well as specifically anything for anyone living in Astoria.
So we do have, as I said, Queens Rockford does have the 2 work from home positions. There's many spots open, as well as we are right now working with an employer that actually would like to hire somebody that might have disabilities to work with sort of a peer-to-peer with other people with disabilities. So please send me your resume. I have my info in the chat.
I could also receive a resume and just see if there's a match with one of our positions in Long Island City. So it's not in Astoria, but it's potentially your neighbor.
While we don't specifically have that, those services here at Common Point, but we also do have resources. So I could just share some. I know that Good Temps also is a resource for people with disabilities. So you could definitely kind of just tag onto their website, and they really do work with people throughout the entire spectrum. So that's a good place to start. There's also the Queen Center for Progress, which you want to take a look at their website to see what kind of openings that they have even within their organization, or even resources that they might have.
I'm sorry, can I just add, there's also a great organization that is in Long Island City, Access VR, that also works with people with disabilities. We work very closely with them, and we help their individuals all the time. So if you want to reach out to them, email me and I'll give you all that info as well.
Yeah, just Greg here for Alpha Point, based in certain areas. There's Alpha Point in Jamaica, as well as other areas of Queens. They're a very constructive member of the Queens Chamber of Commerce. I know they do excellent work with those who are sight impaired. So if anyone's sight impaired, you might want to refer to Alpha Point. Anthony is the best contact there.
Fabulous. Thank you. We have a question also now for Calvin. The question is, do you hire on-site EMTs?
No, we haven't had that type of need. Yeah, not at all. Not since as long as I've been working. I know that we have safety officers, and that might be close, but definitely not EMT. It'd be more less like a fire watch to make sure things aren't set on fire or flammable liquids. Yeah. But sorry, no, we don't have EMT positions.
All right, thanks for letting us know. So we also have a request from Hardy Cox, who's was WeCare and is asking to send your listings as well to partner with them at hardy.cox@wecare.com. Question for 82nd Street academics on what is the minimum wage and benefits associated with your position.
Several positions available, so we could be talking about something at the $16 an hour range, but then we also have management positions available, which are salaried. So I'd really recommend you to look at our website and see kind of which position speaks to you and speaks to where you're coming from. Our management positions also come with a benefits package and vacation. The hourly positions have just a lot of room for growth. So if you're looking for something a little bit more entry level, then it would be a per hour salary, but we also those are typically the folks that we really advance to further positions.
Thank you. Another question that may be for you as well. We have someone who is currently a student at Fordham and looking for positions in education and social services sector.
Then come see us. That sounds like a really good potential match. Certainly take a look at your website. If you're in school right now and you're trying to balance, maybe you're in your spring semester of college, if you're trying to balance that, we've got some roles that could be a match, especially if you're doing like evening classes or morning classes. So take a look at the website and just see which one sounds right. In your cover letter, make sure to mention that we had this interaction.
Yeah, you can also come over by Common Point. We have quite a few positions open right now in social services, entry level as well, and for teachers. So if we have, for instance, like we have a social worker for opportunity youth, but we also have, like support specialists as well within that program, and like employment coordinators. So the employment coordinators are a good kind of stepping stone into social work. And so you can kind of come in and get your feet around it. And then you can start with kind of entry level casework. So that's an option. And we also have assistant teachers that we're looking for the youth programming in early childhood education in Forest Hills and Little Neck. So yeah, those are possibilities for you. Yeah, there's also a counselor advocate for high school and college success at Forest Hills High School that we are staffing for, because there are staff, but we have them on location at Forest Hills High School.
Excellent. So many amazing opportunities. So we actually have a question that's come in, particularly on positions that are in community work, tackling racial and social justice. Are there any particular positions that fall in these categories that any of our partners are aware of?
I'm going to tap into this one just because our work is student facing. So that is where our students are learning to be advocates, and then also learning what equity actually means and what it looks like in their own community. It is not working with adults on the ongoing inequities that we have in our community, but it also is a proactive approach in that the empowerment starts with students.
And also with Common Point Queens, while we don't have necessarily like a directive for diversity and inclusion, it just kind of is a natural thing that we are a resource in the middle of Queens, which is the most diverse borough in the world. In New York rather, right? So just by natural kind of placement in the community, we are tackling diversity issues, and also we're looking at it from the source, really, again, trying to meet people where they're at. So if someone is coming in where they may even need, maybe they don't have their paperwork, right? Maybe we refer them out to a place that maybe we don't have the resource, but they're not citizens and they need paperwork, they need mitigation, we might send them out to some legal services. So no matter, and then we kind of help them through if they need if they need food stamps, if they need, anything you can think of, childcare, we're here and we're serving across the whole community. And so just by default, I really think that I just see the people who walk through our doors every day and who we're supporting. And it's just such a large range of people. It's just everyone. And it's a beautiful kind of diaspora that we are able to kind of connect to and support. And again, just being in the background of social services, we are really tackling it even just socioeconomically as well. So not only racially, but socioeconomically. So yes, if you're looking to really make an impact in that sense, in diversity and inclusion, then this is an organization you might want to kind of target. So commonpointqueens.org/jobs. You can, find some of our internal listings there.
Thank you. I'm going to jump in right here. We have a question from a Spanish-speaking constituent. He wants to know if he's been unemployed for a while. He used to be working in a restaurant, and he's looking to do something different maybe construction or driver related. If you guys have any options, please let me know. And after you speak, I'll translate if that's okay.
Yes, if he's interested in construction jobs, we do have a lot of companies that hire Spanish-speaking people. So that's fine if he's monolingual Spanish. We just encourage him to at least email us his resume, and one of my colleagues who speaks Spanish will be able to contact him and schedule an interview.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Voy a
And
preguntar,
Catalina,
estamos respondiendo
Carolina.
al señor Márquez. La organización Building Skills New York tiene oportunidades de trabajo en construcción. Si por favor les puedes mandar un email, ahora yo pongo el contacto en el chat para que todos puedan ver. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, this is Verdia, Count CAO. We also have, in addition to the CDL drivers, the non-CDL driver position, which means you're still driving on airport as long as you have a valid driver's license. We have a couple of companies that are hiring in that area. If he's still interested in food service, we still have a lot of positions in that area as well. But for driving, certainly can help.
También de oportunidades en el aeropuerto tiene posiciones disponibles en oportunidades de restaurantes y también para manejar. También pondré información de ellos en el chat después de que terminemos. And I'm sorry, common point.
Yeah, sorry. So we also have ESOL programming here, and the career counseling as well. So it's a good opportunity to kind of come in where if you feel like you need to sharpen your English skills and you want we have beginners levels and intermediate, and that's we have a orientation on every week on Fridays that is done in Spanish. So they can come in and get an orientation about our services. And as you move through the ESL programming, we can, again, we have Spanish speaking employment coordinators that can look or can help you place in jobs. Again, food services is actually one of our vocational programs. So we do have connections in food services, but I know you're looking to get away from that. So we do have driver's positions available right now. And we also, have other things like porters and maintenance and things like that, that might be something that they might be interested in transitioning in. Or even if they're looking for something totally different and going into a different vocation and they decide they want to become like a certified nurse's aide, or they want to become like, they want to do, they feel like their Spanish or their English gets, they're comfortable enough, they go through our tech training. Right. So there are all of these kind of avenues that we have within us, but you just need to get into the door into vocational training, and you need an employment coordinator, and they will work with you to, in your case, specifically to support you through the process of job employment.
Para todas las personas que están viendo y hablan español, Common Point tiene un programa que les puede interesar. Tienen un training los viernes, se hace en español, donde ellos pueden dar información sobre todos los programas. Hay muchas oportunidades en servicios de comida, también para gente que necesita manejar y diferentes trabajos técnicos y vocacionales. Lo importante es ir donde ellos, conectarse con ellos, y tienen gente que ellos pueden ayudar en español. También compartiremos los contactos de ellos después de que terminemos. Gracias. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Carolina. Thanks, Express Pros, did you want to? That's right.
Sure. Yeah, just very, very quickly. We certainly have many opportunities open to bilingual folks of all types. English, Spanish, obviously, where we are geographically, the most popular. But it's a very big plus for us. We also sometimes get for other languages as well, but English, Spanish, always very popular. And we find too is for people, we tell people to have confidence. I know they say they only speak Spanish. We find we can get through the interview in English. We will have to communicate with them in English. Some of the managers will only speak English. Many of the managers speak Spanish as well. But we ask people just to be open to it and come in, give us a shot. For someone who's predominantly Spanish speaking, we have plenty of opportunities, both driving as well as maintenance, as well as professional.
Por último, también la compañía Express Pros también ofrece muchos posiciones que pueden ser interesantes para ustedes que están buscando trabajo. Trabajarán con usted si no habla mucho inglés y se siente un poco intimidado. Hay gente que los puede ayudar. Si tienen alguna pregunta, por favor, contáctense con ellos. Toda la información está en nuestro website a www.queensbp.org. Yo lo voy a poner también en el chat para que puedan ver los contactos de todos los participantes que están con nosotros hoy. Gracias.
Thanks again. We also have a follow-up from Hardy about whether any accommodation can be given for virtual interviews.
What does he mean, accommodations for virtual? I'm not
For
sure.
those who aren't able to come in person for interviews.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you actually for bringing that up. All our interviews are virtual right now, at least the first ones with our account manager. Then once you pass the screening, if you're still interested, and the account managers will refer you to an employer interview, which I would say about 80% right now of our employer first interviews anyway are virtual. So right now, almost everything is still virtual for us.
The majority of our interviews are also virtual at this point. The entire application process remains virtual, but about 80% of our work is in person. So it's only a quick relationship online before it turns into something in person.
We do a little bit of both here at Common Point. So if you feel more comfortable doing everything virtually, we can do that. We have positions that are strictly virtual. But we also, a lot of our in-house positions are in person here on site, but we are all taking precautions. I'm in my personal office here, so I don't, I'm not around anyone. So my mask is off, but if I'm walking around the office, my mask is on, and there are always people cleaning and so on and so forth. But yes, everything else is done virtually. Even our trainings, ESOL training, is done online. But if for some reason we know that people are in different situations, so they may not have internet, they may not have access to a computer, we're servicing everyone. And so if you need to come in, we'll provide you with a laptop and you can be part of the virtual orientations in-house here at Common Point, as long, again, as you're taking precautions, you're wearing your masks, you are, washing your hands and so on and so forth. And we disinfect everything before and after anyone handles it, as far as our equipment goes. But again, we do have those in-person Spanish orientations as well. But the other orientations that we do every week on Tuesdays, those are done only virtually. But you can make a one-on-one, if you feel more comfortable, you can make a one-on-one interview coming in with someone. But again, everything can be done virtually here. The job, now that's a different story. That's kind of very individual. And we have so many different jobs here. It really would depend on the job that you're applying for.
And as CAO will continue to work virtually and remote right now, we are conducting all services as we would normally conduct them. Account managers are meeting candidates at their level, in person, virtually, and all of the screenings are virtual. But the actual interviews for the job on airport is in person. So if you're screened and you're qualified for a position, the account managers will refer you to those companies, and those companies will then conduct an interview in person. And we've just started recently some in-person recruitments. They're going very slowly. We are following guidelines, but that's something that's coming down the pipe very soon.
Thank you. We have another question about a position specifically working in mental health and social justice.
Well, Common Point Queens, once again, we are a social services organization. So we are we are supporting a large range of people in our community at every level. So again, we have lots of social services positions within this organization. Just go ahead and take a look at commonpointqueens.org/jobs. And you'll see what is available. I mean, it could be anything from being a camp counselor all the way to working, you know, as an actual one-on-one counselor within our counseling programs, you know, to help people through process, or even working through helping people through case management, where you kind of bring them in and you move them through the process, you know, for whatever it is that their need is at the moment, and help them either connect with counseling or other services that are available from the city.
Similarly, CAMBA has a lot of similar kind of social services positions, whether that's like case management to social work, and some of the positions that we have open that you know, that are related to mental health, we do require licensure, but there are a lot of other positions like case management positions and counselor positions that we have open, as well as like community health positions where like we actually have several community health worker positions open at the moment that is really outreach driven and really aims to connect clients with services of all kinds, including mental health related that they may be seeking. So would definitely encourage to take a look at CAMBA's website and check out the open positions. A lot of the work and programs and services being offered are definitely in that vein.
Thank you. And yes, we're going to add, there's a request for more information to get in contact with Ms. Tompkins. We will add that in the chat. And another question about whether anyone offers PCA, HHA, or CNA training, or knows how to connect for that type of training.
Hi, Queens Workforce. We work with a large amount of HHA companies that actually do the trainings, provide the certificate, and then immediately start you with a job. And we have companies that offer the training in English as well as Spanish and Mandarin or Cantonese.
Yeah. And Common Point Queens, we have regular CNA trainings that we do. So you can just, again, contact us at Workforce Events at Common Point Queens. You can go to our website, click on Employment Hub, you know, start the process of just say, get started now, and you fill out the form, and you can come through you can come through the orientation. And again, we provide regular CNA trainings, and we provide the certification and placement.
Daria says, thank you. There's a question also about resources for clients that live in Staten Island. We are boroughs without borders here. And so I hope that if you are tuning in from another borough, you feel free to access any of that information and share on YouTube this with your community. Does anybody want to add anything specifically for Staten Island right now?
Actually, there is a workforce in each borough. Actually, I do work pretty closely with the one in Staten Island. If you email me, I can send you my counterpart in Staten Island's contact information. And they provide the same services as we do in Queens Workforce. Everything that I mentioned, the trainings, the workshops, and of course, the connections to employers.
Thank you.
CAMBA has a few services that we offer in Staten Island. One of them is our home-based program, which works with residents of Staten Island and connecting them with public assistance, and they do a lot with housing and homelessness prevention. We are recruiting for several I believe case manager positions for that program at the moment. So can definitely check out more on our website.
Thank you. And a few moments ago, we talked a little bit about connectivity. There's so much that's being done to with virtual interviews and applying online, that what we will be doing at Borough Hall as well is purchasing a few computers to support our job fairs. So we'll, in conjunction, we'll be able to have people come in live and be able to assist them with applications and so forth. So as things open up, we'll be opening up more resources, and also particularly working with those in the disabled community as well. So that is something that we've started along. We do have a specific question about someone who has a hand disability, and so specifically what sort of positions that might be open for someone who used to be a welder but no longer can use that skill.
It depends a little bit more on sort of the level of hindrance that causes. For us, there's a lot that can still be done where we don't require like too much typing during the actual activity, or too much micro sort of handling of any implements. But we do, in the position I'm thinking about in particular, it does require at least 1 year of experience working in a childcare setting prior to work.
Yeah, for us, certainly we'd be willing to try to help. It's probably an issue of what other transferable skills that individual might have, and they might need a little bit of a conversation to kind of pull that out. As far as, you know, one would weld for many years, is project management something on the cards? Maybe a supply house. You have a lot of welding knowledge. Maybe we can get you a welding supply house where there's, you know, again, it's not what it used to be, but it's something that you can kind of go forward with.
All right, thank you. So we are, you know, coming upon the witching hour, and we thank everyone for joining today. And I have to say that I love my job here, but you really sparked my imagination on so many incredible career paths. So thank you so much to our sponsors for your collaboration. And we're so delighted to bring these opportunities to people in Queens and beyond. So please feel free to follow up individually with the workforce agency for the positions that interest you. And our next virtual recruitment job fair is Thursday, April 15th at 2 p.m. We have to thank the wonderful Sharon Anderson at Borough Hall for putting together this amazing series, and a special thanks to Assemblywoman Cruz for co-sponsoring. We also have such a great team here. So on behalf of the Borough President, I also want to thank Chris Barca, Tiffany Eason, Carolina Gill. Thank you for the incredible translation in real time today, Carolina. Aldo Grillo, Frank Joseph, our Chief of Staff, Brianna Mulligan, Dorothy Perfumi, John Perricone, Michael Scholl, and Alana Siegel for all of your support. Thank you so much for joining.